I wanted to make this video to explain why I have come out and endorsed Austin Petersen for nomination as the Libertarian Party presidential candidate, and why I believe that Austin Petersen may go all the way to the White House in this election. Now, if you don't know who I am, that doesn't really matter, but I'll give you a little bit of detail. I've been in libertarian activism for the last 9 years. I worked pretty much full-time on both the 2007-8 and 2011-12 presidential campaigns for Dr. Ron Paul. I'm a friend of some of the members of the Ron Paul family. I am very libertarian. And although everybody has their own judgments on what a libertarian is, whatever, Ron Paul and I diverge on no issues whatsoever as far as I know, and that's not by choice, that's purely coincidental. So I came out and endorsed Austin Petersen, and now I'm getting people throwing around things like, well, you're a fanboy. If you knew the history I've had with Austin Petersen, you would not ever say anything remotely like that. Austin Petersen has attacked me publicly. He has ridiculed me for being a Christian when I'm not a Christian. He has publicly mocked me, deleted me, banned me, and I have criticized Austin Petersen for years and years. This is public record. There's no making this up. So why then would I suddenly have a change of heart and throw my support behind Austin Petersen? It comes down to several factors. The biggest factor is that I believe he can actually win the general election here. I believe that Austin Petersen can beat Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now, when you look though at the Libertarian Party candidates, although there is kind of four that are being talked about, including Darryl Perry there. And Darryl Perry and I go back a little bit, and I've read his books. He's given me his books, and he's an interesting guy. He's an anarchist. I don't have a problem with that. But there is more to electability than political philosophy, obviously, or Ron Paul would be president today. And Darryl Perry, as nice a person as he is, has zero chance of ever holding higher office. He might someday be able to hold a local office, but he won't get any higher than that. That's just the way that it is in America today. Then we've got John McAfee, who is a technology has-been, knows very little about modern technology. Now, some people don't understand it when I say that. I'm a strategic technology consultant. I've been dealing with technology my whole life, and although I haven't created the multitude of companies that John McAfee has, he really did hit a one-hit wonder with an antivirus product, which is so revilely hated along with Norton antivirus that it's funny that people even want to talk about it. But John McAfee, for a technical person like me, completely embarrassed himself on TV describing how to hack an iPhone, which was just had most of the tech community rolling on the floor laughing our asses off. And then he tries to pass off using a keylogger as hacking WhatsApp's encryption. Now, they choose their words very, very carefully to make sure, oh, we never said that we were hacking WhatsApp encryption. Yes, I know you didn't, but that's what you wanted the public to believe, and that's a problem. That's deception, and I cannot get behind a person like that. So John McAfee doesn't know very much about modern technology at all. This is my day-to-day life. This is what I do for a living. I detect trends in technology. I help companies prepare for the future. Mobile app development, all kinds of things like that. This is stuff that John McAfee has no clue about today. And if you ever want to put me up against John McAfee in some kind of technology debate, oh, I'll gladly do it, and I'll wipe the floor with him. John McAfee is a washed-up has-been. So, and he probably murdered a person, and that's a big problem, right? Because the left and on the right, both parties, because he's running as a libertarian, will jump all over that. He is not a viable candidate for the President of the United States. It's just a joke. Then you've got Gary Johnson, whom I did a long sit-down interview with 4 years ago in Denver, Colorado. And it's very clear from that interview, which you can find online, search Israel Anderson, Gary Johnson interview, and watch that interview. Gary Johnson is not a libertarian. He holds very little libertarian philosophy at all. So that made it a lot easier to come back to Austin Petersen, doesn't it? When you've got Darryl Perry, who could never win an election like this, John McAfee, who's really just having a fun at everyone's expense, and Gary Johnson, who's just Republican light, right? Well, what about Austin Petersen? Well, Austin Petersen's a douchebag. I get that. He's attacked me over and over for years, although not recently. But I have a long memory, I don't forget. So Austin Petersen, though, has qualities that he has been honing for a long time that appeals to the voter base. Let me explain how people operate in society. Roughly an 80-20 split. In society, we have people that make emotional decisions, feeling-based decisions. And then in the other 20%, you have people that make logical and analytical decisions. You have 80% that make decisions based on feelings and emotions, and then you have 20% based on logic and analytics. All right? Almost always, there are exceptions, but almost always, I would say probably 80% of all libertarians are in that 20% where we make decisions based on logic and analytics. I'm the same way. I'm not an emotional thinker. I am logical and analytic in my thinking, and that's how I make decisions. Now, those of us in libertarianism, those of us in the liberty movement, those of us that are Libertarian Party members, we're almost always in that 20%. We don't know how people think, how the general public thinks, and that's why we can't wrap our head. We think they're stupid. Why would you vote for these people? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Because they're not making logical and analytical decisions. They're making emotional decisions based upon the feelings they have. And that is why Austin Petersen must be the person that we get behind and support for nomination as the presidential candidate in the Libertarian Party. Because Austin Petersen understands this, and Austin Petersen is going after that 80% of people. And Gary Johnson and Darryl Perry and John McAfee are all going after that 20% of people. I mean, look at the ads that John McAfee and Judd Weiss are putting out right now. Who are you trying to appeal to? 17-year-old boys jerking off in their mother's basement? I mean, those ads have almost zero appeal to the general populace. And I saw a comment by Judd telling somebody, oh, don't worry about what the general audience would think about these ads. Well, hello, you're trying to win the presidency of the United States, and you need those people's votes. So you had better start thinking about how the general populace is going to respond to your political ads. Because while the liberty movement thinks those political ads are amazing, when you understand how everybody else thinks, those political ads become, oh my God, what are you doing? You don't understand how to reach those 80% of people. The only person running for office, running for the nomination in the Libertarian Party right now that understands that 80% of people that make decisions based on feelings and emotions is Austin Petersen. And he doesn't just understand it. He understands it really, really well. Probably from appearances, much better than even I do. Why do I understand this? Because for the last 3.5 years, I've been involved in marketing. And when you're involved in marketing, you suddenly learn that people don't care about the facts. I mean, here's a good example. You look at an automobile ad here on TV in America. Very different from other parts of the world, by the way. We're talking about America here. We're not talking about other countries. In other countries, when they advertise a certain vehicle, like a BMW, they're going to list all the specifications, the primary specifications, and the engine size and the horsepower, all this kind of thing. because that's going to be very important to the consumer there. But in America, they don't do that. All they've got is some guy cruising down the freeway. Oh, the feeling, the emotion you're going to get driving this amazing automobile, right? Because that's what people respond to in America. They respond to that. Now, that's not a criticism. That's just the way it is, all right? Advertisers know how to attract that 80% of people. I don't give a crap about that other 20%. They'll come along if they want to, right? But they're not going to spend resources and time trying to convince that 20% that are going to sit on the internet and go through the websites, go through the specifications, learn absolutely everything about the product before they make their purchase. I do. That's what I do for a living, research. But the other 80%, they don't, right? They don't do that at all. Look at all the drugs and crap they put into their body, and all the, the pharmaceutical ads on TV. They put those ads because they work, right? And you've got to wonder, like, who's buying this shit, right? Well, they are, right? The 80% of the population that are controlled by their emotions and their feelings. Now, we can criticize those people to our heart's content and make fun of them and think they're stupid and what have you, but they choose presidents. They choose the president. Look at Donald Trump today, right? Now, somebody just said to me, Austin Petersen is like Donald Trump. Yes, that's it. Yay. They were saying it as a criticism. Dude, that's not a criticism. You get it, even though you don't get it yet. The penny hasn't dropped, but that's what it's all about. It's about knowing how to go for that 80% of people. Donald Trump is a TV guy, right? He's done these reality TV shows, and he understands how to talk to that 80% of people. That's why he's filling stadiums. That's why it's ridiculous. It's exactly the same with Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders isn't interested in logic and analytics. He's not interested in truth or facts or data. He couldn't give a crap about that, right? Bernie Sanders is so freaking wrong, it's not funny. But it doesn't matter, because he understands how to play to that 80% of the audience that will respond. Listen, guys, if we want to grow the liberty movement, if we actually want liberty, if we want a president that's going to make our lives better, we've got to start to realize that we can't just elect people that toe the corporate line on our philosophy, or do things the way that we do them, but that understand how that 80% of people think and what they respond to, and how to get them to respond to you. And the only person that's running right now that can do that on the Libertarian Party ticket is Austin Petersen. And not only can he do it, but he's been doing it a long time. And you will see the people that he attracts. They are emotional people, right? They can be a little fanboyish, right? It's like, people accuse me of being a fanboy for Austin. I think that's freaking hilarious. But anyway, but he does have his fanboys, although, admittedly, so does Johnson and McAfee. But, we need to start to think, do we want to put forward candidates that really have zero chance of reaching the 80% of people out there? Now, Gary Johnson might a little bit, but we don't want Gary Johnson and Weld in office. Holy cow! We had Bob Barr and Wayne Allen Root, and then we had Gary Johnson. And I don't even know who the VP was last year. We got these people that are unsatisfactory. They're not libertarians, and we're voting for charlatans because we think they have a chance of winning the Libertarian Party nomination. Well, if the Libertarian Party delegates, if the LP delegates, if you're a Libertarian Party delegate right now, let me speak to you directly. If you're in that 20%, I'm inviting you to try and understand the other 80%. Because it's not just about who will be best, to vote for. It's not about finding somebody that is just like you. Okay? It's about finding someone that's going to go and reach the people that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are reaching today. That's what we need. Okay? We need a person like that. And the only person like that is Austin Petersen. Now, I would ask you, if you're a delegate, if you want to reach out to me and talk to me privately, you can message me on Facebook. You can call me. I make my phone number available to anybody. I just believe in being reachable. 720-346-4471. It's a Google Voice number, so don't bother being a dick because I can just block you. But if you want to reach out and ask me questions on why, I'm absolutely happy to help you with that. But I really invite you to take a look at the potential for Austin Petersen. If we can get Austin Petersen on that national debate stage alongside Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, I think there is an incredibly good opportunity for Austin Petersen to become an instant political phenomenon. I really do. And I believe that he has a solid chance of actually winning the general election. Now, you may think I'm crazy, but I spot tech trends for a living. I connect dots. And I have been for the last little while making my trends and predictions public on Facebook. You can scroll back through my Facebook feed and you can see them. And I'm pretty on point. I've been doing this a while. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet or sound arrogant, whatever. But this is what I'm good at. I connect dots. I predict trends. I help companies see what is coming down the pipeline. So when we look at Austin Petersen, what do we see? I see a political phenom. I really do. I see somebody like Trudeau in Canada that can attract the millennials and bring them all out to the ballot box and have a clean sweep of the election. And you may think I'm crazy. You probably do think I'm crazy. But when you start to do marketing and you start to understand how you reach these other people, you need to understand how they think and what makes them tick. You need to reach these people in a different way than the way our minds work. And for me, that's been real tough. It's been a challenge to, you get surprised where, people that are, amazing marketers will share some piece of wisdom and you're like, what? That'll never work. It wouldn't work on me. No, it won't work on you. It won't work on me. It won't work on you because we're the 20% of people that make logical and analytical decisions. But boy, does it work on the 80% who make emotional decisions based on their feelings. And that's what we need to come to grips with. We have here an opportunity where Gary Johnson is filing lawsuit or has filed lawsuit to be in the debate, and that will apply to whoever the Libertarian Party nominee is. We have a candidate running for office, the youngest presidential candidate in history, I believe, who understands and actually is in that 80%. He's not a logical and analytical thinker. Or at least I don't know Austin that well personally. So he could be just being very, very good at marketing here. But it appears he operates in that 80% space. Guys, that's what we need. That's what we want right now. We want somebody who operates in that space because they know how to bring everybody in. Not only could we grow the Libertarian Party with Austin Petersen as the nominee, we could end up with the Libertarian Party in 12 months from now being the largest political party in America. And we got to stop thinking, oh, that's all pie in the sky, and start to believe in this stuff, right? We create our own future. Now, I believe that we have been handed a golden opportunity. Now, yeah, look, there's so many criticisms and red flags about Austin Petersen, and I get it, but the voters, the electorate just doesn't give a damn. They don't care about all that stuff. They don't, okay? Somebody said to me just recently, Austin Petersen is just like Donald Trump. And it's like, yeah! And guess who's going to be the next president if we don't do something? Donald Trump. Right? Donald Trump knows how to go after that 80%. Gary doesn't. John doesn't. Daryl Shaw doesn't. He's so in that 20% that's not funny. He's the extreme 1%. At the very extreme of that 20%. The only person who knows how to do that, and doesn't just know how to do it, but does it exceptionally well, is Austin Petersen. Glenn Beck is the most emotional fart on TV. And he came this close to endorsing Austin Petersen. And those of you criticizing the Libertarian Republic for putting out that article that said that he had already endorsed, listen, Beck was gushing over the guy. It would have been totally fair to think that, but even though the Blaze asked them to retract that, they're still flying Austin Petersen out next week to be in their studio live. They love the guy. Why? Because Glenn Beck is emotional. He's in that 80% that makes decisions based on emotions and feelings. That's why these people jump. Like, in this 20%, we're logically consistent, right? We don't jump from this to that to that to that, right? From Ron Paul to Bernie Sanders, like, right? We're thinking, how could you do that? Because we're not in that 80%. Now, we need to come over to that 80%, guys. We really do. And the way to do that is with Austin. That's crazy. It sounds like, what? You're full of shit, Israel. Okay, and I'm going to get so much hate for this. It's not funny. That's my dash cam. But I'm telling you, please trust me. You know, some of you are just absolutely never, ever, ever, ever going to get your head around this. And that's just the way it is, because you're so much in that 20%. And it's not a criticism. I am too. But you're so much over here that you can't ever come to grips with how these people think over here. And we have to, if we want to win elections, if we want to change the country, we've got to put forward people that absolutely know that. I mean, it's just, that's why, you know, Ron Paul, he got that entire 20% segment. I mean, hands down. But he didn't much come into that 80% segment. And we now have a candidate that can. He's not perfect, not by any stretch. There are red flags, but there are red flags for every candidate. And he sure has a lot less red flags than Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. If we can get Austin Petersen onto the national debate stage alongside Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, he will make them look like bumbling fools. He has a chance to win the youth vote in this nation that would, you know, that Obama would only get in wet dreams. I'm serious, guys. We don't know what we have here. We don't know what a blessing, what a gift we have here in Austin Petersen. Now, I know that under an Austin Petersen presidency, my life would be significantly better than it is now. And so would yours. And so I'm asking you to reconsider. I'm inviting you to take a look at somebody that could change the political landscape in this country for a very long time to come. We've been looking for a knight in shining armor. That's not coming. But we do have Austin Petersen now. And Austin Petersen will reach those 80% of voters. He will lock up the ballot box. He will do exceptionally well. And even if he doesn't win the presidency, he will do so well on the national stage. He will bring the message of liberty to so many people. He will get so many people thinking about this. And, you know, when we can get them to put that foot in the door, then, you know, we keep leading them the rest of the way into the philosophy, right? Guys, I know so many of you right now are going to think I'm completely crazy. And I know I'm probably going to get more hate over this video than anything I've ever done in my life. But I have to do it. If I can steer some of you Libertarian Party delegates to elect Austin Petersen on the convention floor in Florida, then please do it. Trust me. You're not going to get anywhere with John McAfee and Gary Johnson, okay? It's a political dead end. All these people, friends of mine, that are just fanboying for John McAfee, it's embarrassing. Get behind Austin Petersen, all right? He has personally attacked me and ridiculed and mocked me for years. And why would I vote for a person like that? Because you've got to look beyond yourself, right? I mean, yes, he's attacked me, but the reality is if he became president, my life would be better. And I know that he has a chance. I really do. And if you understand this, if it's starting to click for you, then I need you to share this video. I need you to get this video in front of all of the Libertarian Party delegates. People need to start to think about this before next Sunday, all right? I think it's next Sunday when the vote is, the 29th, 27th, or 29th. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully, I've made some sense in this video. I know to a lot of you that all I've done is talk a lot of bullshit, and that's okay. Some will get it, some won't, okay? We've got to work with those that get it and help those people to elect Austin Petersen on the convention floor, and then get him, work our asses off to get him into the debates alongside Hillary and Trump. And I'm telling you, if we can do that, you're going to see the miraculous happen. You're going to see stuff that will blow your mind. I promise you this. You are going to be so shocked. Austin Petersen will be the most talked about thing on television if we can get him in the national debates. This is what I mean. We won't just grow the Libertarian Party. We'll have so many people switching. Well, actually, I mean, they won't need to switch parties and vote for anyone in the general, right? But he can win this. I'm telling you, he really can win this. You're looking at somebody that could go down in history. Is he a douchebag? Whatever. Can he win the White House? From somebody that has been involved very hardcore in 2 political elections, and I think I have a good grasp of what it takes to actually win office now. Yes, he can win. He can win the White House in this election. Gary Johnson can't. John McAfee can't. We're talking about growing the party. Oh, big whoop. Oh, we're really aiming for 5% of the vote. Hey, what if we got 35% of the vote and won the general election? Yeah? Right? So, you know, or 50% or whatever it gets. But this is real potential here, guys. We have potential to transform this country through a person that knows how to reach the people. And the majority of us don't. Please trust me on this. AP for LP. That how it goes? I hope so. Anyway, and Austin, I'm sure that you will eventually see this. You've got some apologizing to do, my friend. Have a great day.